Hello, everybody. It's a Deephaven community team here again for another Demo Friday. First up, we have Larry showing worker-to-worker subscriptions and snapshots with viewport supports. So here's Larry.
All right, so to show this, I had to set up Docker with an extra worker. So I've got to do my Docker up. And what I'm going to be doing is hosting a ticking table over on the worker and then subscribing to it and snapshotting it from my IDE, which is the main instance. I'm going to implement this client command, which is going to create the table, and then I'm just going to break out the hour, minute, and second of the timestamp as additional columns. All right, so that table is now created, and I can bring in some imports to make my life a little bit easier. Let me do this. Let's do and rotate factory and ticket table, but garage table resolver is going to be the main worker of this demo. It's going to actually expose the subscribe and snapshot option. So I'm going to get an instance of it. And here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is just do a full table subscription to the worker provided table. So I'm using the subscribe function call out of the barrage resolve, and I'm passing it the address of the worker, and I'm passing it the table that I'm interested in getting. So as you'll see, executing this, I have a full ticking table once every second, hour, minute, second, broken out as columns. This is a full-fledged table here on the server, so I want to run some aggregation or just some work on this table. It'll execute on the server rather than on the worker, but it'll still continue to tick. So just a little bit of aggregation as I'm watching these increment as ticking data comes through. All right, so let's demonstrate a snapshot of this. It's a very similar call to the previous one we saw. Use the barrage resolve. I'm going to call snapshot instead. So reaching out to the worker and asking for the timetable. And it's going to look very similar. This is just a fixed snapshot of 90 rows while our subscription is still over here ticking away. So what's new actually in the merge this week is adding column and viewport selection. So let's bring in a column bit set. So I'm going to just select create a bit set and then set a few of the, oops, let's do this one actually. A few of the columns. Now, if I request a new subscription over to the timetable from the worker, but now pass in this column bit set, I'll get a slightly different subscription. And you'll see I've actually excluded a couple of the columns, but this is still a live ticking table. Similarly, snapshot column snapshot support can be demonstrated. Applying the snapshot, passing in the same columns object, and you'll see something again of snapshot object non-ticking. And then if we want to restrict the number of rows that are coming across on our snapshot, we'll pop in this little helper class, this row set factory, and ask for rows from 51 to 100. And I'm going to go ahead and include the column set restriction on this. So this final snapshot we're going to grab is going to be just a couple of the columns. We're going to use this viewport request, which is, again, going to do rows 51 to 100. And we've got the index 51 to 100, and there's our 50 rows. So that's how easy it is to use snapshots and subscription with viewports and Deephaven Core. That's what I got.
All right, very cool.
Very nice, Larry.
And that's it for this week, everybody. We'll be back next week with another great demo. There you go.